Hello, fellow Flosstubers. It's Lynn Wiltzius, aka Love to Cross Stitch. Um, this video is probably going to be a little bit more about my embroidery work than it is about the cross stitch. So I do have cross stitch to show you. I have a hard anger to show you, and I have a lot of stuff that I brought back with me from retreat, or what you would call seminar. So I went to the Brazilian embroidery seminar in Portland, Oregon. Had an awesome time. Anybody that's into embroidery that wants to learn Brazilian embroidery, I recommend it. I really do. It's a lot of fun. The seminar is once a year, and it's always in June. Usually, unfortunately, it's around the time some people graduate from high school or college, so some of the people can't make it because of that. But it's a blast. I mean, I had an awesome time. I really did. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to start, and I'm seeing my pile of floss over there, and that's what made me want to do my video today, so that I can get my floss organized and in the bucket. So that being said, and this is only about half of what I bought, because the other half I actually put away in my organizer. So see, look at all this. Isn't that awesome? Different colors. I mean, I literally got carried away. But when I look at it this way, the Brazilian embroidery floss, which is Edmar floss, see, it's done by Edmar. And so you have your different style weights, etc. See? And so, and then there's Gloria style weight. So there's all kinds of different weights, and we use different weights for different things. So because Edmar is rayon floss, that's what we use for Brazilian embroidery, and that's what's considered Brazilian embroidery because the Brazilians use that type of a floss. So anyway, because when I go to the seminar, I can get this cheaper than I can going online to pay full price and then turn around and pay shipping. So I pretty much try to stock up with my money so that I can buy a few things at seminar. And while we were at seminar, we went to Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon. Oh, I fell in love again. I hadn't been there in close to 10 years. And I went back to the shop with Sandy and her sister Jeanette, which are good friends of mine. So we went over to Acorns and Threads on Thursday, and I will show you the purchases I got there. And now I know that she's got a lot more stuff than she used to, and I will be sending her my shopping list for cross stitch. So I'm tickled to death on that one too. So anyway, first thing first, when we went into the seminar, we registered, and then we came back to, well, while we registered, we were given a bag. See this bag? There you go. Every year we get a bag. It doesn't matter what kind of bag. Last year I think I got a bag that was more quilting type bag than it was a regular bag. So inside this bag, hold on, I gotta take some things out first. So inside this bag we were given all kinds of stuff. Our group made these for everybody, so everybody got one of those in the bag. Those were not in the bag. We got, that's my class. That's my class. That's my schedule. And okay, so this was a free pattern that came in with it. Fabric with it. Okay, that's one thing. Oh, tons of candy. So if you're on a candy rush or chocolate rush, you're supplied for the week. We also got some of these, you know, your usual wipes. A group, one of the groups, this one here, made a beautiful scissor fob. So you have a scissor fob. And then another group, which is this one. See? This group made these cute little hats that we can use for our, now I can't think of it, drizzles. So we need a drizzle pad. This is a drizzle pad. And so you have your needles sticking in and then you wrap around. It's kind of fun. 3-dimensional, so that should give you some kind of idea. And I need to move these where I don't keep piling on top of the other stuff. So, there's still more. Trust me, there's more. I had a bag full of stuff again too. I took it out. So, I bought that pattern. I did buy stuff too. Okay, here's another pattern that came in, and you got the pen, the marker. So we have this to work that we can work on. It's awesome. I may do that. I may do that. Who knows? Well, Lynn, you never know. Another pattern that we got. Not too crazy about that pattern. I think I had it one time before and I gave it away. But here's another one, and this is cool. And the materials right there. So this is for practicing. And if it's what I hope it is, it will be awesome. So she has different levels of practicing things. That was our founder anyway. So that was cool. More of these. Like I said, tons and tons of candy. This was my name tag. So your first year you get this name tag. You have to bring it back. If you don't, you have to buy another one, kind of thing. So I had to pull that out. This group here, the Portland area, had made these for us. And they're the ones that hang on your couch, you know, your chair that you're working on, so you can stuff your stuff here. It's awesome. But the funny part was I put it on my chair and realized that my armchair is wider than this. So I'll figure something out. I'll get this. I get this. No problem. We also got one of these. And they left this end open. See? And the instructions say, oh, excuse me, I have to open it up some more, so give me a second. The instructions were that this little bag is great to carry small things, tools, pens, pencils, or whatever you can. The side is not closed so that you can stitch your favorite BE flower on it. Once you have stitched it, you can then open it out, stitch it up, and then you have your bag. Awesome, zipper and all. The hard part, what am I going to stitch? So I got to think about that one. And once I do, I'm going to have an awesome bag. I almost thought about putting the seminar or whatever, but I think a pretty flower would look good. So I'll work on that, and then hopefully when I get it done, I'll remember to show it to you. We got another kit here. See if I can open it. The Altoid boxes, where it gives all the instructions on what you need to do to make an Altoid box that you can carry around. And I will show you a finished one because I won that on the last day. So see, this is a finished Altoid box. Isn't that cool? And actually I think this one was from Seminar 2010, but they were given them out, so I thought that was pretty cool. Ooh, money popped out. Anywho, and let's see, I know I have a ton more stuff. We got one of these pads. We got pens, pencils. Oh, that's my list of what I needed. Another kind of like whatever I want to use it for. One of the gals made that. I know there's another scissor fob in here somewhere. We got one of these zipper bags that a group made, and hold on, I'll tell you who did it. So it's pretty cool, see? Happy 25th. See, and it says who it was hand stitched by. Oh, I wish that would come in clearer. It's the Palestinian Knotters out of Tigrit, Oregon. So we have groups all over the country. We also have some international. I think they said that there's a dozen groups in Canada. We have some in I can't remember, but we do have, it's international. So, and then I got a thank you from the stitching store, I believe. That is Christine House. It's House, but it sounds different. And anyway, she's awesome. I have dealt with her for cross stitch stuff. She's the one that got me the Madeira threads when I needed them for when I was working on Nantucket Rose. So trust me, I will. And actually, let me open it up, and it might have the information on the pin. So but she is a real good cross stitch or embroidery business to look at, and she does her own designs. So yes, here it is, Stitching Shop, and it's out of Denver, Colorado, and stitchingshop@gmail.com. So if you ever are in the area, check her out. She's got a really good shop. I understand her teachings are awesome. And like any organization, you always wind up with some political stuff, and I think something happened there because she doesn't come to seminar to teach, and I'd like to see her come back to seminar to teach because she is an awesome teacher from what I understand. People rant and rave about her. One of my friends has even said that her classes are really cool. She loves the patterns that she's teaching, but unfortunately we're not close to Colorado to take them. So if you ever get a chance, check her out. And she could tell you more about Brazilian embroidery too. So we got this. And it's like the one I have. It's sticky pads with all the sticky notes. Everything you need is in these puppies when it comes to sticky notes. And trust me, I use them. And then we had a fun group. This group right here. They gave us marbles. Marbles. And the comment was, losing your marbles. Here are a few. I gathered them just for you. Hide them away and treat them with care. Because when I lose mine, I hope you still share. So that's cool. It's awesome. Got one of these. Another thread when the last night at the banquet. We got another thing of thread. We even got some thread holders. And this one is from Threads in Bloom, which is cool. So we have a lot of groups. Here's what I was looking for. And we got another needle minder. Isn't that gorgeous? Our theme this year was fairy garden. And so a lot of the stuff that we got was based on the fairy theme. And then I got this. It's for your credit cards. And they put that little fabric in there so that your card can't get scanned if you have it by itself. So I thought that was cool. And let's see what else have I got down at the bottom. I took some of this stuff out, so this is only part of what I got, trust me. So then we got some seeds. See? So that was whimsical seed coin given to you with nibbees. So, and it might be to get bees around. So that being said, that took me 14 minutes to go through that bag, and trust me, it was not all of it. Then let's see. So the first day I got there, I decided I didn't have any classes on. We got there on Monday afternoon, and we visited with people that we hadn't seen for a year. And it was kind of cool because some of them from Texas and Florida, and there was Canada. So we got to reacquaint ourselves with the old ones, and then met some new ones. And we were new last year, so it was kind of fun. There were 4 of us in our group that went. No, there were 6 of us in our group that went. 2 of them are sisters, and they were downstairs. I stayed with a group from Seattle, I think. Renton, Kitten, somewhere up there. Anyway, that group up there is Pat. She's our instructor of our group. Excuse me. And I stayed with her, so it ended up being like Pat Campbell, Pat Campisher, excuse me, and Donna, and I can't remember her last name. So there were 4 of us in this like apartment type thing, and it was nice. Sandy and Jeanette, the 2 sisters, they stayed downstairs from me, which if I would have kept the room that they originally had me in, I would have been right next to them because we wanted to be together. So that was cool. So I'd run up and down all the time. I must have got 10,000 steps in every day, or I was really close to it. There was a couple of times I just missed it. So, all right. Now, so the first day was Sunday afternoon, and we didn't do a lot. We just got reacquainted, and we did some oddball stuff, and then we sat and had tea downstairs and in the sisters' rooms and whatnot. So then, when I got back upstairs, and trust me, I did not go to bed till anywhere from 11:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't get myself to go to sleep. But I'm having the downtime now, so I'm to the point. By the time 1 o'clock hits around here, I'm about ready to fall asleep. So anyway, so for the next couple of days I worked on this, the heart anchor. And I really, really am pleased with the way it's coming out. If I would have bought the heart anchor fabric in the first place, I would have been fine. So I'm trying to get caught up. And so I worked on that Tuesday. And Tuesday I had all day to myself. But when I got to the seminar, I decided I wanted to take one more class because I only had 2 classes, and they were 2 sessions, which would be, excuse me, I'm itchy, I don't know what it is. I get on here and then I have to itch, probably because I'm not working on something. So anyway, what was I saying? So when we got there on Sunday, I decided I wanted to take another class, and I wanted to take it from Debbie Kelly. She's an awesome Brazilian embroiderer. She does other stuff too as well. And so I really wanted to take her, because if you saw her designs, you just melt. They're gorgeous. She does beautiful roses and some other stuff. So I asked if I could take her class, and there was 11 people in there. And I asked the teacher, and the teacher said, yeah, that would be fine. So they added me into the class, and so then I had a morning class for Friday. Otherwise, I would have had all day Friday to myself, which probably would have worked out better, but oh well. So then we did all of our, I worked on the heart anchor, and I helped out. You would not believe how much I helped out. Every time they needed me upstairs, I'd run upstairs to help them, because they had merchant malls and stuff up there. But I was helping in the show and share, so I was taking in show and share designs and stuff. And no, I did not put anything of mine in. They had the 25th anniversary, so what they did was they asked people to bring what they had done in the past 25 years of the organization at seminars. So people brought, and they stated what year they were and stuff like that. And I took pictures. So I was thinking I might put them in there, but I don't know who made them, and I kind of hate to do that because copyright or whatever. I don't know if that's going to be an issue, so I won't do that. If I find out who made them, then I'll post them, but otherwise no. So anyway, we had our exchange for the needle books, and I got 3 sets of needle books back because I did one for Sandy and Jeanette. So they picked the really pretty ones with the embroidery work and everything on it. And then the other one was kind of like a patchwork one that was a triangle and then a rectangle, and it was, you just put the needles in the inside of that. And it wasn't anything I thought that I could use, so what I did was I gave it to Pat Campbell, and her and I decided that we're going to give it to one of the newbies. So, or maybe even two, because there was 2 pieces to it. So, and I had no problem with that. And then later on, somebody gave me this one. So, there's a needle book. And it had these pins in it. Isn't that awesome? So I guess when you're nice, you get something nice back. So then on Wednesday, we had a class. And my class was all day. And neither one of the girls took this class. And let's see if I can find it, because I know it's right here. And it's called the Oriental Poppies, and it was done by Jinx Kirkpatrick Shear. See, there's the title. This is what it looks like. Let's see if I can get over there. See? That's what it looks like. And actually, that doesn't give it justice. But anyway, so I was taking that class. So we worked on, see if I can find my sample. We have doodle cloths for each of the classes, so I got to figure out which doodle cloth belongs to the right one, and I do apologize that I wasn't more organized. But anyway, so here's the doodle cloth for that class. So we worked on the satin stitch, and this one is stuffed, and she was showing us how to work it. And then and then I worked on this flower, which, let me get that pattern out. Well, I just had it. What did I do with it? Okay, so this flower right here is what we worked on the doodle cloth right here. Now, I always do big. I should have went small. I didn't. So this part right here is the detached buttonhole stitch. And we always called it the dreaded detached buttonhole stitch. But anyway, so I thought, okay, what the heck. I loved the way that we 3D the stem. See the stem right? Where's my stem? Right there. See that? And really had fun. And her comment was that if it didn't look good the first time, go over it again and it'll look great the second time, and plus you're adding more dimension. So I thought, hey, that's cool. So I had that all day Wednesday. So I had her Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. Awesome class. I recommend her totally. And I understand she takes classes. Where's she from? Let me think about it. Where she's from. She gives out a lot of classes. And I think she might be the Portland area, but I'm not for positive. I thought somebody said she had to catch the plane, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so I thought, well, I'm going to take her class again. She's awesome. And then, so then that was Wednesday. Thursday morning, we had a class with, there it is, with Mindy, and forgive me, I can't remember her last name. But it had to do with this book. Okay? Brazilian Embroidery 101. And all of these. See that? All those flowers. Good book. She gave me, I dropped some. She gave me some beads and stuff, and that's why I dropped on the floor, and no, I'm not going to bend over and pick them up. Nice try. But, so we did a doodle cloth. And I worked on some of that, and here it is. So when we first started out, I thought, what the heck? So we did some beginner stuff. You know the difference between, to everybody. Wow, my camera is just not doing its thing. And so these are the things that we were working on. Okay, that's my doodle cloth. So then we went to working on the piece. I wanted to work on the piece because I got tired of doodling. So I went to the piece and I started doing some stuff. Okay. So there's that, and then homework, which is right there. Okay. So it's kind of a start. The first class, I worked on the doodling, and I did some of the stuff there. Then I decided I'd work on some of the stem stitch and the leaves. And then we left, and we weren't due back until Saturday afternoon. And so when we got back on Saturday afternoon, we were all beat. And this is like advanced class kind of thing, in my opinion. So my brain and my hands were not working at all. And when I did the what I call the dreaded buttonhole stitch, I mean the loops were like this big, loop-de-loop, and it looked like crap. I took it out, but I did take a picture of it, and I was real embarrassed with it. And it was funny because the founder, when we were sitting down and she was teaching me how to do it right, which is not on this one, it's on another doodle cloth. Anyway, so when she was teaching me how to do it, it turned out awesome. And somebody says, "Oh, did you see Lynn's detached buttonhole stitch?" And she goes, "No, haven't seen it." So they pulled out my piece, because I had it on this one, the main pattern. And all of a sudden she just goes, "Oh my," and the whole area burst out laughing. And so that was the joke of the week, I think, because of my buttonhole didn't turn out right. And then she looked at me and she says, "Well, sweetie, if you like it, it's good." And I said, "No, don't like it. It's not good." And I just laughed at her. I says, "You know, you have the same response my mother does when she's teaching." So anyway, so that was that one. Then on Friday morning, I went to Debbie Kelly's class. And this is the reason why I had to take the class. Isn't that gorgeous? This is her top seller of a pattern, and these are her own patterns. So this is her first pattern, and it's a rose from my mother, DK Designs, and it's gorgeous. I just love it. So we worked on a doodle cloth, which I thought I had here, and I wish I did now. Thought it was here. Oh no. Anyway. Oh, I'm disappointed now. I don't have the... So, we worked on... Since I don't have it, I'll have to tell you. So, we worked on this area... Let's see if I can get my hands working. This area right here. So, we did the satin stitch right there. And then we learned how to get that piece to come over and wrap around right here. Go this way. Right here. So, this wraparound piece. And we worked on that. I got as far as that far, but I didn't get this far down. Excuse me. I don't know what my problem is. Well, I do, but I ain't going to tell you. So, excuse me, I got to drink some water. I hate doing that. Okay, so we worked on that on Friday morning, and it was really cool. So Sandy and Jeanette had Friday afternoon off. So we decided to go over to Acorns and Threads. You know, I already spent a lot of money over at the merchants at the Brazilian embroidery, but I couldn't help myself. So I bought some more stuff, and my husband just kind of shook his head. But hey, what the heck, I did. And these are the pages that I was looking for yesterday when the group came over, because we had our meeting yesterday. So I had it at our house because we normally have it at church. So anyway, you didn't need to know that. That was one I forgot. Here's our quiz that we took. It's kind of funny. It was about the last 25 years. Alright, back to Acorns and Threads. So we went to Acorns and Threads. And I think I bought 3 big rings, because I like those for when I'm working on my Brazilian embroidery. I can hook the rings on with like I did with these. So when I'm working on a project, I can just put them on a ring and take the project with me. These actually are going to get tabbed, and I don't have the tab there, but I'm going to tab them and then put them with the projects. So I was watching some of you on Instagram. I love you on the Instagram. You guys are awesome. And some of you were working on Salem. and I fell in love with it. And I saw it, and I had to buy it, so I bought it. The funny part is when I was asking her for the Salem pattern, because she had the design up on the wall, okay, I says, can I have, you know, Salem? And she says, oh, sweetie, I don't know if you're really going to want this pattern. A lot of people are offended by it, so you might want to rethink this. And I'm looking at her kind of going, okay, so what's wrong with it? I says, well, so what is it? She says, well, if you look very carefully, there are tombstones in there. I says, oh, really? Where? And so then she pointed it out over here, right there. And then I looked at her and I shocked the crap out of her because I said, that's okay. I have at least 2 of my members that were hung at the witch trials, so no big deal. It'll go in my house. When I told my husband that, he just shook his head. He couldn't believe I'd say that to her. But his great-grandfather, going back a ways, was the last one that was executed. And then they quit doing the witch trials. So he was the last one. And then mine was Mary Perkins, but she wasn't executed. She was, somehow she got out of it. And in my family research, I found out that her son or daughter was married to the son or daughter of True, who was the judge. So I don't know if that had something to do with it or what. But he had actually put her up to be executed, but she never did. So I think she was next in line. And then there was another one that was actually hung, and I can't remember the name of that person. So it fits in my house. My son will know why it didn't bother me. So, and that's what Salem was all about. I had to. I bought this one. Isn't that gorgeous? This is Crystal Symphony. Isn't that pretty? And I was looking at that, and I thought, you know, if I make that, and if my daughter gets married, then she might get that too. So, and then I bought this, and if you'll give me a sec, I'll explain this to you. I saw this hanging up on the wall, and I thought, that's a pretty design. But the colors are crap. And the more I looked at it, the more I understood why. So this is the pattern, DB's Designs. This is the pattern. I love how that is put together, and it's Royal Garden. But she did it with a light, the background in here is a light pea green color, right? Why would you put pea green as a background with all that beautiful coloring, and you have greens in it already? Why would you mute it to make it all green? So I am going to redo this. I think I'm going to do it with a white background. I'm going to change some of the colors. I still like the greens in there, but I might change the purples to maybe blues and pinks. So I'm going to work on changing the colors to this. And I think it could be a gorgeous pattern if only they pick the right colors. They're probably not selling many of those. Okay, so then I had to buy, get this, I had to buy more. I had to buy this. 2 more of these. 2 more of these. I don't know how many of those puppies I've gone through already with that pattern. Oh, here's another thing that was in the was in our bag. Beads. We got beads in our bags. See? More beads in our bags. And more beads. So anyway, I told you, I've been, when I started putting my stuff away, I was thinking, oh crap, I better do the video before I put everything away. So Acorns and Threads, here's some information. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's in, you can see it now. Acorns and Threads, it's out of Portland, Oregon, and it's on Scrolls Ferry Road. Awesome shop. I went 10 years ago. I fell in love with it. That's where I got the kit for the lamplight, and she mailed it to me and everything. So now I know she has a heck of a lot more than she had back then. So I'm going to go back and do that. And I'm looking at the time, and it's 35 minutes, and I'm still yammering. And I usually don't like to, but hey, seminar was fun. So then I went to Debbie Kelly's. I went to see all the Debbie Kelly's patterns and stuff that she had. Well, she had left. A lot of it was off the wall because she ran out of them. But I fell in love with this one. It's a teapot. See that? And I think that's going to be fun because I collect teapots. So, and it's called 3 Wishes, an advanced level. So I think this would be gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to doing that too. So and the whole time I was there, I forgot to get a hold of, I didn't get a hold of Loretta Holstenberger to show me more of her birdhouses. So when we had our meeting yesterday, I worked on that. So this is what I was working on. And I'm working on this bird down here. I thought this bird was like, whoops, this bird here, but it's not. And then I noticed that I have to do, I don't have to, but there's like a 3D wing for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and do the 3D wing to give it that, to make it 3-dimensional. So I'll do that. But right now I'm working on him. And I hope to get some more in there. So this bird's going to be fun. He's got a wing that's separated. And I think what I'm going to try to do is, before I cut it out, work on the wing. And then when I cut it out, then I can attach the wing on, and it will be more 3-dimensional than having to work it on the piece, if that makes sense. So this is Brazilian embroidery because it's all with rayon floss. So see? So I'm still working on that one, and I hope to get that done. And it's been a year, so I thought before I even start the roses and whatnot, I'm going to have to finish that one. So, and a lot of times I do that while I'm working, while I'm just going to meetings, but I might try to kill in some more time. So, that was a little bit of what went on at seminar. And I think that anybody that loves to do embroidery, Brazilian embroidery is an awesome way to get into it. We have mixed media because you don't have to use the rayon floss. You can use cotton flosses and stuff like that to do your 3D embroidery. The only reason why it's called Brazilian embroidery is because of the rayon floss. And then you have, and I believe silk is another one. You use those colors, and that's what gives it the Brazilian beauty. Plus, I think it actually adds a lot to it. It makes it look shinier and prettier, and I don't know what it is, but I just love it. So I have gotten into Brazilian embroidery. There's a crap load of floss that you need, but you don't have to. You know, you can use whatever color you want on whatever you design. It's just like cross stitch. If you don't like the way it's done, then you just modify it and you fix it to yourself. So, speaking of cross stitch, oh, I did order my Millennium frames, and hopefully they'll be on their way in about 2 weeks. The Millennium frames are more this size because the ones I showed you are huge. They're just huge. So I ordered those, but in the meantime, this is the one that I was working on at while I was on the cruise. Whoops! You saw my back. Ugh. The back's not as good as it should be. But anyway, so there it is. I worked a little bit on that before I went to seminar. I tried to rotate, and then I got back into, let's see what's in here. Okay, that's my box. So I was working on that, and then I went back to working on Kathleen's stocking, Kat's stocking, my daughter. And so I got quite a bit done on that as well. So, and this back I'm a little more proud of than the other one. Anyway, so this is where I've gotten so far. I added the bottom of the J, and I added another penguin and his scarf. So that's where we are. As soon as he's done, then I can work on the top, and I will probably work on the snowflakes and stuff. So like I said, here's my box with all of that. And I love this box. It's got the snaps. I'm down to one. And I still have about and I'm 3/4 of the way done. So, oh no, I have two. But then I've been working with this one. So, I was looking for them at Acorns and Threads, and I said, well, the rainbow, and she says, well, we only have them in this way. And I said, okay, that's fine. But I did notice that there are other companies that have something similar to this. And if I could find out what the... Actually, she had one. Debbie Goff had one at Retreat, and I was going to buy it, and it was like buying it off of spool of thread. I should have bought it. And I may get a hold of her and ask her to send me one. She's got them in the spools. And for as much as I used here, and probably as much as I'm going to use in the future, I probably should get a hold of her. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I guess we're not supposed to call ladies anymore, and I don't know why. I get tired of this. Words that we used before we can't use anymore because they mean a different wording. No, Lynn's not going on that rampage. Okay, so I think that's about it. What else could there be? So it's been, what, 2 weeks since I saw you, and that is what I have really been up to. And I wish I had that doodle cloth. We call them doodle cloths. You practice on them. That I was doing for Debbie Kelly's class, because that was really cool. So this afternoon I am probably going to take these and get them into my box. And the funny part was I went downstairs and I noticed there was a class that I took from Debbie Goff last year, and I had these hooked up there. Not these particular ones, but I had, for that class, I had a whole bunch of those. And I was thinking, oh crap, I probably duplicated on some of them. So if I do, I'm going to give them to my neighbor. I brought her back a book. Oh! Acts of Kindness. And I don't have it with me. When I was at retreat, seminar, when I was at seminar, one of the gals that was my angel last year, she was supposed to show me around and stuff, but she got busy last year. Anyway, I was taking pictures for her last year, and I started taking pictures for her again this year. And it's Charlene Newland, and she's out of Texas. She gave me 3 books. Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of Brazilian embroidery. And I can't remember the title, so I'll have to show you next time. But it was like, oh wow, why are you giving these to me? And she says, because you've been so helpful and that you've done such a nice thing. So I had to give her a hug, because no good deed goes unpunished. So I'm going to have to send her a thank you card. And I think I'm going to send the teachers a thank you card. Out of the 3 teachers, there's only one that I probably will never, well, I can't say never, never say never, that I probably will not take another class from. But the other 2 are amazing. They're the old teachers that you want to take classes from and stuff. So, alright, I'm going to quit ranting and raving about teachers. I'm going to do, I was going to do shout outs. Unfortunately, we're going into 45 minutes, and I don't think you need, if I have a shout out, I'll put it down below. If not, actually, I don't think I do, because I haven't seen anybody's stuff. Oh, I will say that I've been watching Blitz Stitch, though, on Instagram, and I'm amazed at how quick he's going. And Ginger Gerald, he's awesome. I've been watching him on Instagram, and it was funny because the head of the king took him quite a while, which I understood that and all. And then all of a sudden, once he got done with the head and the neck, he was moving like crazy. And it looks like he's getting pretty good at getting close to finishing him. So I think that's awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, floss tubers, what else? YouTubers, all of you, may you have a great day. I hope you have an awesome day. And in case you haven't noticed, my bangs are getting in front of me again, so I got to get those cut. Anyhow, not that you needed to know that. Okay, so I'm done. I hope you enjoyed it. I usually like to show what I'm working on, but this time I showed you what I bought. So have a great day, and I will see you probably the next time I feel like I've got a lot to show. In the meantime, have a great one.